Cloud. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to, excuse me, our Thursday morning business chat. And Robin and I have a couple ideas to kind of kick things off with here today. Hope everyone's doing well on this Thursday, July 15th. Pretty hard to believe, over half the year's already over, but the best half is yet to come, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So does anyone have any questions, comments, great stories, business testimonials before we jump in with other ideas?
We always love to share success. So if anybody's had a recent, and on this call, we like to focus more on the business than the product. So if you had a recent business success, somebody you've been dripping on for the last 6 hours, 6 days, or 6 months that finally said yes, or someone you met in the grocery store yesterday that said yes, any stories, it's fun to share stories with each other.
Darlene raised her hand.
Oh, go ahead, Darlene.
Unmute, please. Very.
Hi, just right before the call, one of my customers that was at the meeting last Thursday called me. She got her patches. She was all excited. She had questions. And she says, I'm just so excited. I'm so glad I met you and found out about the patches. She has had 4 open heart surgeries and has a massive scar on her chest. And she just told me a while ago she has a pretty bad scar on her back. And she's excited that these are going to help.
Oh, so wonderful.
Very cool.
Good work, Darlene. Thank you.
Great. Those home meetings, because they are so easy. I'm doing another one again tonight.
Oh, yay.
We might ask you about that.
Yeah,
So
that's
wonderful.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Wonderful. Okay, who else?
Anybody else?
I'll share a fun story that happened. I got a call from someone that I met in another company, a fabulous man. And he said, I've been working this other program for 2 years. It's not taking off. I'm not duplicating. I'm not getting the traction. I want to know what you're doing. And this guy's a player. And I like to go through line of introduction of how I met him. And so I reached out to the person that is the line of introduction, who happens to live an hour away from him, who happened to have prospected him 2 years ago. And it was right before the morning chat. And he got to be on the chat. Hey, I sent him the videos. He watched all the videos, and he's a new silver.
Yay.
Silvers.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Who else has a little success they'd like to share?
DJ.
Go ahead.
Well, Gregory knows this one because I actually shared it with him yesterday. So I prospected a gentleman who was successful in a different company, and their company was the one started out. And it was like, I don't know, 7 months of reaching out to him and just following up. And what finally got him was taking somebody else's YouTube video that had the specific thing that he was dealing with health-wise, sending him that YouTube video with then the liveyounger.cc, great landing page. Thank you guys. And then just following up on the phone. And that was enough to get him off the fence and get him going.
Wow. Good.
Yay. That's a really good point, BJ. And the reason we love to hear your stories is because if you have someone that has something that's identical to them, your prospect, boom.
Mhm.
And we know it works across the board, but people like the specific connection. So that's great that you did that.
I'm reminded of that old favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Everybody's always, we all have needs, and we're looking, if someone brings a solution to us, a potential solution to us that is a good fit for us, there's a high likelihood, of them making a decision to move forward. So, an important teaching lesson there. Thank you, BJ. Well, what we'd like,
If there's anyone new.
is there anyone new that would like to say hello? Maybe this is your first call. We always like to honor new members of the community. And if there's anyone that's brand new and you'd like to say hello, we'd like to say hello to you too.
Okay.
and it's okay if you don't. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone because there's tendency to get a little bit of background noise. And it's not because we don't want to hear from any and all of you, because you can very easily unmute yourself at any time. You can raise your hand if you want to say something. That's helpful because now we know. Or you can just unmute yourself and chime in. But one of the things we wanted, the targeted discussion for today's business chat is events and building for events. And I want to thank Darlene for getting that ball in motion, because she has done, if you listen to the Monday night call, Darlene shared the great success that she's had with, a home meeting. And Darlene, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had 6 people, come, and 1 was already signed up and got reactivated, and the other 5 have signed up. Did I get the numbers right? And you're muted.
2 had been previous customers on the old preferred customer program, and they updated to the new preferred customer program, and the 2 new couples signed up.
Isn't
So
that-
100%
Woo!
activity.
We love those numbers. And you did the old press and play. Darlene was thinking, well, that PowerPoint that Gregory does, and I think I sent you the PowerPoint, or I told you where you could get it. And then you realize you don't have to do the PowerPoint. Tell everybody what you did.
I just hooked up my laptop and used the portion that where you're doing all the talking on the Tuesday night doctor call. So I just eliminated the first part when Robin is talking about the doctor call, and had it start exactly where you started, and then stopped it when you were finished.
And it was what, 6 minutes, 7 minutes?
I don't know. I'll pay attention tonight and see how long it is. It's not that long. We did a introduction before it started, who we were and why we are doing this. And then as soon as it was over, asked if there were any questions, and there were, and we answered the questions, and then we told some testimonials. It was that easy.
And then you pass out order forms.
Yeah.
I love it. The perfect home meeting, and we used to call that a power play. You push power and you push play. You don't have to know the presentation, you just need to show the presentation. So we had a discussion, and Darlene, you were not in on this yesterday, but we had a discussion on the director's call yesterday, and the idea came up. Actually, no, maybe it was I think you were on the call. That was the admin call, I think, for I'm going to create a video just of that. So you won't have to sort through.
Yes.
It'll be, the home meeting presentation YouTube, that you can just go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, tee it up. I'll do the front end of the presentation, and then you can shut it off, have your chat. And if you like, I'll even do the back end, say, well, there's 3 ways to get started with LifeWave. You can choose to join as a retail customer and for blah, 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 or a preferred customer and save 33% and a $50 discount. Or you may choose to become a distributor if you enjoy making money for sharing, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so we are going to put a renewed effort into creating a simple home meeting structure, strategy, and the tools you need, because happily we're coming out of the pandemic. We're coming out of lockdown. We can, go visit our neighbors without risk of being arrested. It's like, so we're re-emerging, we're re-emerging. So thank you, Darlene. And there's going to be a lot more discussion about Kay. You have your hand up. You want to go ahead and you have a question or something you want to share along this line?
Unmute, please. Unmute, please. Okay. Unmute.
You'll have to unmute yourself,
We
Kay.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I ought to know that. I am thrilled that you're going to do that. That's just a fabulous, fabulous idea. And I'd like it yesterday if possible, Gregory. But I had a question. I had a question before you said
Okay.
that you were going to do that because I will use that on Zoom calls. I'm going to share my screen, not
Yeah.
only on home meetings. That'll be just fabulous.
Mhm.
My question was, do you use a pre-recording? So are they the same on every single Tuesday night or is it
No.
live and different?
It's live and different every Tuesday night.
Okay, thank you. I've wondered that often when I've told people to watch more than one, whether I should tell them to skip over that part.
But
Or
my
not.
part is exactly the same. I'm using the exact same slides. I'm reading the slides that I wrote. So,
Okay.
it's the exact same presentation, a little bit of emphasis, and I usually wear a different shirt.
Well, thank you for considering giving that to us to use whenever we want to. That recording would be then on liveyounger.com?
Not on Live Young, we'd
On the
we'd put
YouTube
it on
channel.
liveyoungeryoutube.com.
Well, that's what I meant. My
Yeah.
mistake. Yes.
Yeah, we'd set it up.
Although, it might not be a bad idea on liveyounger.com either, because then we wouldn't have to search through videos to find it.
Well, that's true. And I can also make it downloadable so you could have it resident on your own.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. So there's one to shift this, anything else? Okay, I'm going to shift it a little bit and I'm going to share my screen because one of the things we want to talk about is building for events, not only conducting events. And I love home meetings, but every once in a while there's bigger events and we've got some events planned in Colorado coming up less than a month from now. And I wanted to let everyone know, give you advance notice. We're in the final stages of getting the date, the location secured for Denver. But that first week in August, Robin and I are hitting the road again. Yay, we haven't been able to do that in a long time. And we're going to be in Fort Collins on Thursday, August 5th. And we're billing this as a stem cell seminar, free Colorado stem cell seminar. So you can send guests. And this, I'm telling all of you, because no matter where you live, you can send guests there and they're going to be honored and respected as your prospect. And we're going to give everyone that attends a free stem cell patch for all attendees, kind of to bait the hook a little bit to get them to come. So we're going to do in Fort Collins at the Best Western, and we're going to do an evening seminar from 7:30 to 8:30, and then we'll do Q&A from 8:30 to 9, and then we'll help as many people in the room that want to enroll, get enrolled. We're also going to, the next morning, be doing it again in Fort Collins, a 9 to 10, with a Q&A to follow. And then that evening, we're going to Denver, down by the airport. We're going to be doing an evening seminar with Q&A, the same thing as we did in Fort Collins.
We didn't do a training in Fort Collins after on Friday.
I don't know.
I thought
Gregory, aren't we doing a business training Friday after that presentation?
That's what I just
Okay,
asked.
let's add that.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Okay.
Just what I said, Helen.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, hon. Great minds think alike, right?
You're always on those details.
Yeah,
I
we
love
just
it.
added a business training. How's that? You witnessed it. It happened here. Business training in Fort Collins on Friday morning. And we might make it probably 10:30.
Executive decisions.
There you go. Yeah, because a half-hour break, so guests can leave or get signed up, and then we'll get started. But then we'll be in Denver, and in Denver, we're going to have either Ryan Anderson. It looks like it's probably not going to be Ryan, so it's probably going to be Emily or Jim, which either one would be great. So we're going to have a corporate representative there. The Denver meetings on Friday evening and on Saturday will be published by the company because they're going to be hosted by the company. Robin and I will be emceeing those events also. And we'll be doing a similar morning structure on Saturday where we're going to have an open seminar, stem cells, a LifeWave stem cell seminar. But we found that, we don't build it as a LifeWave event. We build it as a stem cell seminar, and people want to come and learn, about stem cells.
Don't we have the Crown Plaza?
Yes, the Crown Plaza down by the airport we're in the company is in the final stage of signing the contracts. That's probably where it's going to be. And then on Sunday, we're going to pop down to Colorado Springs to do it again down there in Colorado Springs. So, and here's how it's going to work. As soon as we get the location finalized for Denver, we'll be publishing this invitation as a PDF that you'll be able to send to friends anywhere. Ideally send it to people in Colorado, right? But you could send it from France. If you're in France, I don't think we have anybody in France on the call with us today, but whether you're in, Arizona or Florida, New York or Montana, you can send this, and this is going to be a modifiable field. So when you get the PDF, you'll be able to type your name in here, invited by, and send it out in a PDF with with a message, and invite people. And when people come to any of the events, they'll say, I was invited by Kay, I was invited by Darlene, I was invited by, Tim, whoever. And when they register, so if they decide at the end of every event, we're going to say, and be sure to get back with the person who invited you here. If you choose to get involved, they'll be your enroller, your sponsor. And if you choose to enroll or get signed up tonight, we'd be happy to help you, but we'll make sure they're signed up under you. This is kind of standard event protocol, and I'm very excited to kind of get back out at it and happen again. I mean, we helped launch Colorado 2 years ago when we did this, and it was pretty successful. And then the pandemic hit, and we had everybody locked down and, mask up and all these funny things that we had to do. So I'm just excited to let people know. So BJ, you want to say something? Go ahead.
2 years ago, we were living in Colorado. You should have invited me. We would have joined. Just saying. I'm a native from there. I know a few people.
Darn.
Anyways, I saw in the chat, Stephanie had made mention of putting, instead of on YouTube, putting your video, it's a little different, it's previous subject, putting your home party video on a domain. I have liveyounger.live, LIVE.
Oh,
I
okay.
own that one back when I registered domains, because I have the ability to do that as a nerd. And so I just hung on to it. And in case you ever needed it, would you want to use that? Because I also have a unlimited host cloud account. That's not YouTube. It's not anything. It's for my private hosting for my own company videos, that when we do video marketing for clients.
It's very possible. Let me think about that. And let me tell everyone that the full PowerPoint, all 13 minutes of it, is already on liveyoungerreplay.com. So if you want to watch me doing the PowerPoint, it's already there. And that might be a place to just do a modified version of it right there. It already exists. And actually, you folks could look at it and you could go there and just shut it off. It does incorporate the 3-minute video, which I think for a home meeting might be good. So, I go through just those few PowerPoint slides, then there's the 3-minute video, and then you could stop it right there and pause it and then go into Q&A and discussion. But I'd love some feedback. And we've actually started a home meeting steering committee. And we're going to, so there's a handful of leaders that are coming together, and we're going to be working together to figure out all of the best ways to do all of this. So what are we looking at there, BJ? That looks like you on the computer. And you're muted, so we can't read lips.
That's your Live Younger replay. I was just.
Oh, good. Is it working?
Oh, it's not replay. Live Younger replays, not Live Younger downloads. It's on there too, isn't it?
It's Live Younger Replay. There it is, liveyoungerreplay.com. And it has my 13-minute PowerPoint, which includes the 3-minute video. Hey, and it includes me. All right. But we'll do a version without me, so they don't have to see. I don't think seeing me is not important. It's important they see the video. Okay, well, there's one other thing I wanted to share while we're talking about events. Stop and share. I'm gonna have to reshare again. And I wanted to share,
While you're doing that, let me. just
I'm already
mention-
doing it. I've already got it right here.
Okay.
Simultaneous on that same Saturday, if you know anybody in Missouri or in travel distance to Branson, Missouri, there's this other event going on simultaneous. And you're going to see this start happening. There will start being multiple events happening throughout the country that you can send your prospects to. And sometimes they'll be at the same day, just like this one. So, so that's what I wanted to share as far as events. And now we can just go back into kind of some open conversation.
So let me mention that last night Connie and I were talking, and a lot grows in our business in a 90-day cycle. And the
Mhm.
company is wanting to revisit the cities in 90 days to build specific markets. And
Mhm.
so planning for events is a powerful thing. And Connie, can you go off mute and share a little bit?
Yeah, I've been talking about the idea. So take, for example, what Darlene did. You're building event to event. So she's having these small events and she's getting people started now. And then that leads to them talking to people and she can work towards a bigger event. So for example, we have Phoenix October 23rd. And so, I know that Jeannie and BJ are here in town, and I know that many people know somebody in Phoenix. So you don't wait to send your person to the October 23rd event. What you do is you start building now. You reach out to them now. You get them started as a customer or a distributor. You get the conversations going, and then we see what their interest is. And if you do find some that are interested in building, you start reaching out to their people. So instead of waiting to October to have just a handful of your own prospects coming, you now can have an entire team coming to an event. So if you do that in every location, you're really building towards the event. And event to event can be something as simple as, hey, I'm going to bring my person on Tuesday night. The Tuesday night doctor's call is an event. And I get them moving forward, leaning forward. And then I work them down that conveyor belt of information until they make a decision. And then we add in from there and just move it along. So I just want people thinking out. Don't just think about the first one that's coming. That's important, but start thinking about how every day and every week you're building so that you have momentum going into a big event. And then once you go into that big event, of course, you start building from there. So I just think sometimes we get a little short-sighted on what the next thing is, and we don't see that it's a bigger picture that we're building to, and more rear ends and seats ultimately at the really large events.
Mhm.
And Connie, this is Helen. I like what you said. Then, like, you're here at this event and always have the next event right there. Hand out something that here's the next event, right? Always have the next event while you're presenting the first event.
So how do we get a copy of those 2 flyers you showed for Branson and Colorado?
The Branson one came in the LifeWave newsletter that went out yesterday at 8:18 a.m. So I just brought it up on my screen. So everyone should have got their LifeWave corporate. Came from news at lifewave.com yesterday. And that's where you'll find that invitation. The one for the Colorado events, as soon as I have the lockdown commitment for the location for Denver, I'll be publishing this. We'll send it out to everyone via our constant contact list, and we'll put it on the Facebook page, I guess.
And the other place that I'm not sure everyone is familiar with, can I screen share?
I think you can. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do a screen share. If you're not active on the Facebook page called LifeWave Business Builders, let's see if I can find it. Here it is, I think. Can everyone see?
Yes,
Can you see it?
yes.
So this is LifeWave Business Builders. This is the group LifeWave Business Builders. If you're not a member, you can just search for LifeWave Business Builders. And when you get there, click the invite and start inviting your people on your team. Just kind of go through the list and click and invite, because when you scroll here, many wonderful things happen on this space. You know, Emily does her lives and she's doing, you know, they always talk about the promotions. They're always up there. What's coming up? The LifeWave Connect. I've heard that some people are having a challenging time accessing LifeWave Connect. If you are one of those, please be in touch with me today, because we're getting those names to corporate. But this is Emily did LifeWave Connect 2 weeks ago on being a daring leader. But then here is the workshop. So you can find all of these on here, and they also have, like we do, a guide section, and there's lots of resources on the guide section. They're not popping up, but there's lots of them. And if you want to access videos, oh, there we go. There's all social media best practice. There's so much here that you might want to visit it. And so registration, motivation, comp plan overview. So there's lots of resources there. Okay, so make sure you're a member of LifeWave Business Builders and invite your people, and they'll be showing events there also. Back to you. I'll stop sharing.
Great. So that was a lot, and we've gobbled up most of our 30 minutes. Any feedback, questions, or comments from anyone?
And I think we're going to do more on building for events on a Monday
will.
night call sometime
Yes.
soon, and have some other guests on. And thank you, Connie. You're a great builder for events. So the message is think ahead
Mhm.
and plan ahead and invite extensively.
Any closing comments, questions from anyone? Otherwise, we'll kind of bring this call in for a wrap here, for a landing.
The quiet group.
A quiet group. Well, and as your business builds in your vicinity, it could be a meeting coming to a town near you. So, this is a coming out party. So it's a time for coming out and a time for growth. So awesome. So if there's no other questions or comments, we'll kind of bring this call in for a wrap. Let's see, was there anything in the chat? Think ahead, plan ahead, invite. I love that. So Anne's having trouble getting on. Great.
I just like to say thank you, Gregory and Robin, for doing this. This is so amazing.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. We're having fun. Yeah, we're definitely having fun.
It's inspiring.
Yeah. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. And if you want to unmute yourself and say goodbye, we'll do that. And then we'll kind of see you on the next call. And we'll be on the tomorrow. Tomorrow is 30
thank
minutes
you.
of wisdom. Excuse me.
Tomorrow, there's going to be an amazing guest named Terry Werner Hobbs. She is a master coach. She trains coaches. She coaches people in our profession at very high levels. And she's going to talk about the distinction between training and coaching, because the most successful leaders are great coaches. And what does that mean? And so you're in for a treat tomorrow at 9 a.m. And apologies that we didn't do last week.
And she's a very enthusiastic new LifeWave associate.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
She's on
And
fire.
I guess I should say, she reached out to me because she said, Robin, what are you doing to your skin?
You look so good.
And so, we connected. She's a dear friend from many years ago. We met through the Direct Selling World Association. And I said, well, what's going on with you and your husband? And she gave me a laundry list of things. Well, they've had amazing responses and benefits, and she can't help herself. And she's having a great time sharing. So she's also a new LifeWave. She just became manager, and she goes, I got to be director by next week. So she's going for it.
Isn't that great?
She's going for it.
And then on Saturday morning, Judy and I will be doing our Saturday morning training. And we'll be on step 3 in our proven plan of action, the caring phase, where we care enough to follow up and help people make an informed decision.
That's great. I have a testimonial to you guys. Carolyn down in Australia, her neighbors came knocking on the door after they've been wearing the patch for a year. Her and her husband go, "What are you doing? We want to do it too." Bam. Just looking at them, they say, "You look entirely different than you did a year ago." How cool is that?
They chased her up the driveway.
They did, knocking at her door. "What are you doing?"
Isn't that great? Okay, well, beautiful. Well, thanks everyone. Have a beautiful day. And if you want to unmute and say goodbye, we'd love to hear from you. Bye all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye on mute.
Bye.
Bye-bye.